right, hello. How's everybody doing today? Sorry, just getting everything set up here. All right, all right. Waiting for some big news coming from Pal today. We're gonna get that in what 25 minutes or whatever. This is kind of what's going on right now. You're seeing on all the news fronts out there. Again, they kind of give some ideas of what Pal's going to say ahead of time. But one of the statements that he's been made is nearly all FOMC participants expect that it will be appropriate to raise interest rates somewhat further by the end of the year. So kind of conflicts with a lot of people out there are thinking. And the movement we saw yesterday with dollar strength coming back in and indices down. Obviously, indices right now are not looking necessarily great. Everything is down. I think a lot of people are surprised by this. I'm not. I thought that had always been the plan. I actually expect him to raise next meeting. So that's kind of putting a little bit damper on the market. And right now, you're seeing the 24-hour pip changes are quite flat. Pound had data which was, again, I would say a bit bullish, right? A bit bullish, right? But right now, all eyes are on the U.S. and what they're going to do. Again, it was 8.7 before. It was the previous. They expected 8.4. It came in exactly at 8.7. Question is, can they really do much more there? You're seeing again 2, 8, 14s. Again, that's in the euro pound, but like a 23, a 67, a 53, 54 in the pound yen. Even with that news, it could move a lot more than that, right? And even dollar Swiss 8, right? 8 pips, right? So everybody's waiting for the kind of shoe to drop. The CAD is down 22, the dollar CAD, but the CAD data was great. A little bit of adjustment last time, just a smidge off. It wasn't quite as bad, and then they're obviously over double. Excuse me, on the positive side. So again, great data for the CAD, but all eyes are going to be on Powell. What Powell says, the testimony that Powell has. You know, me personally, I don't think anything that Powell is going to say is going to necessarily be surprising for me. But then again, the markets are believing kind of different stuff, right? They're still going to lower interest rates, and when are low interest rates coming? And that's what everybody's focused on. And they took the pause as being done, and the Fed said this doesn't mean we're done, just means we're getting more data. And people took that as like this is the end, right? And yeah, I don't know. Overall, it's not it's not ideal for obviously the stock indices, but at the same time, it shouldn't really be a surprise. But I feel like it is, and the movement we've seen in the dollar, gold and silver coming down into I think gold's down to like what, like the 1920s, and silver going much lower than it has been, are all a telltale sign of kind of where it's at, right? So that's what we got. Like I said, all the fireworks have been coming out of Powell, right? Tomorrow, we got all kinds of news tomorrow, right? While they're speaking early, we have the Swiss raising, again, going up 0.25 is what the expectation is. The pound, again, also, people are looking at that and saying, hey, listen, we expect the pound to go to 4.75 as well. So there's that. And with today's data, I kind of feel like it's already baked in, right? We're not seeing massive spikes off of it, but at the same time, everybody had already prepared for this. So again, seeing this 0.75 may actually be, it could be a selling opportunity. You may say, well, wait, why we're raising? Why would it be selling? Well, because the market's already factored in. The data today helped it, and you can see it was great data. It was a surprise to the upside, and there's little to no movement, right? Little to no movement. So, yeah, there's that. Hold on one second. Sorry, it's raining here today, and I was like, man, I'm a little cold, so I grabbed a hoodie behind me, a sweatshirt. We had the air on when it was like super hot, and now that it. All right. So again, we have all the monetary policy stuff tomorrow. We have unemployment claim coming in, and again, Powell second day of testimony, and maybe we'll get some zingers tomorrow. But I think that statement of, oops, what am I doing here? Gotta love it. It's a zip up hoodie, and I'm zipping up the headphone cable. So, all right, here we go. All right. So, gotcha. But then again, seeing Powell 2 days in a row, get some zingers from that one. Unemployment claims not expected to do much. We'll get the pound. And again, right now, I think this is probably more of a selling opportunity than anything else. And that'll be before we meet tomorrow morning. So that's what we're dealing with. VIX right now, again, pushing down. I think a lot of this is actually, kind of baked into the market right now. You can see it's kind of it's very rare that you see the markets down and the VIX down all at the same time, right? You tend not to see that too often, right? Because one of them, it's like, oh God, everything's turning red. And that goes along with like the fear index, right? And you would see the VIX kind of spike, right, with fear and negativity. And right now, you're seeing the VIX technically down, right? Technically down. Was it down 1.8%, right? But yet you're seeing all the indices. I don't want to say deep in the red, but the day hasn't even started yet. Powell hasn't even made the comments. I don't know. Maybe this is the market preparing, and Powell's going to say something different, right? That maybe they'll raise it, but maybe they could be done. I don't know. Who knows? Powell has a habit of doing that, right? You think he's going to say one thing, and then he comes out and says something else, and you're like, wait, how do I take that, right? He's good at that, right? I want to call it fair balance, but it's not really fair balance. But, it is what it is. So that's where we're standing. Indices all in the red. Commodities kind of split across the board. Gold and silver, as I mentioned, it wasn't 1923. It was 1920 that it was looking at. So, getting ready to break into the 1919s. And look at silver, 2250, right? We were at 24 just days ago, right? So, again, seeing a lot of movement there very, very quickly. Oil, 71.62. It's up a little bit. Natural gas also up just about the same, up at 250. I'll tell you right now, it's better than the 263 we were talking about. Although it is showing, again, at least some signs it is pulling back down. 250 was a kind of an area we were talking about. But overall, again, up a little bit. Could be much, much worse. Is it going to be a big mover today? Probably not horrible, right? As I said, I think a lot of it's going to depend on what Powell has to say. Okay. So we'll see. All right, let's go over to the Aussie. All right, so Aussie, we were looking for pullbacks. Again, we kind of mapped out the bottom, and we're kind of looking for it to pull back into this level here, and you can see at about, 10 o'clock last night. Got close. We just missed it. That was the pullback we were looking for. Again, when it came down to here, you can see it was not a 23.6. It kind of came up and bounced and went down and then went up higher and higher again. So, 23 people. I mean, I guess if you were trying to get short at 23.6 and putting your stop loss at the 50, which would be insane, I guess you could do that. But yeah, there was our zone. Missed it by a little bit. And again, we were calling for that reversal. And it did. It came all the way back down. And you can see, right, you had your 1, your 2, your 3, right? And your 4 started the base at above. You're like, oh, yeah, it's breaking. It's breaking, baby. And it did. But not really a Harry Potter-based trade. We do have a level a little bit lower, and the 61.8 is kind of sitting right where we are right now. Overall in this one, there's been a lot of dollar movement. We kind of know what Powell's going to say already. They've kind of foreshadowed that one. But, could he say something a little bit stronger? We see that everybody's into raise. Could he say potentially that, actually, I think one of the comments in here even said it. Like I had Till Morgan. Yeah. No, it wasn't here. Yeah, he makes a comment that there's not even a chance that once this goes beyond, the forecast is we couldn't even potentially start to think about cutting until the end of next year, right? I mean, they've said that multiple times, but maybe if people hear it again, then they'll take that as like okay, all right, sure, right? So yeah, I think there could be some more in this one. We had a Harry Potter setup on there, a break of 67.31. It's an old level, and it's bounced off of a few times. The 61.8 is providing some buying. But after that, we got a little bit of a racetrack running down to approximately 67 flat, 67.05. So a little 30 pip. What is it, 10? Yeah, it's like 9 for 25, 8 for 25. I think we could probably run it just a little bit down. Get a whole 30 out of that one. I don't think that's horrible. Okay. Aussie yen. So Aussie yen. Talked about hitting this one. We ended up hitting it at 11 o'clock, right? We talked about being a nice little zone. And guess what? The trade's out. It finished last night at 10 o'clock. Small one, 17 for 50, right? Aussie yen. We talked about this one reversing back, having a good possibility of doing that. And we mentioned, hey, listen, we love this little area of buying right here. So Um, yeah, looks like yeah, like 10:30, 11 is when we were sitting there, and it finally left at 11:30. So, easy trade. Hopefully you guys were able to take advantage of that one. I missed it by a little bit. I had the target to here, so I missed the target by an hour. Right? I thought it would take just a little bit longer. Although I drew it to the midnight, I should have done it to the 22. But I drawn to the 22, I'd have been fine. But I missed it by just a little bit. Um, so yeah, where we are right now with this, again, finding some buyers coming back in. I would say right now we're a little bit more neutral than anything else. We can run fibs on this one and say, okay, well there it is. The 23 really didn't provide much. I would expect there to be some selling coming in right around here. Is it a great entry? Not really. Again, there's that kind of yen proxy play today, but it's nothing that I'm like, yeah, this is great. This one I really like the way that this zone formed here. Um, but since that time, none of it really in here am I like, ooh, this is great. Because again, I expect Pal to mention, you know, still not there, still got to work harder. Um, Crushing gold, right? So again, Aussie should lose a little tiny bit of steam from that as well. So we'll see. I think right now this is going to be dominated by the yen and what happens, right? Um, so yeah, yeah. Euro dollar. All right, so euro dollar. So we got the alert yesterday. The alert triggered and it came down and then came right back up and then came down and right back up again. So it still hasn't triggered. We're still sitting there. And right now we're very, very flat. You can see in 24 hours, what was it, one before? It's a whole three right now. Three, but it's red, right? So we're still kind of holding firm there. There's not really, I mean, there has been the ability to get an entry up in here maybe a little while ago, but it still really hasn't left this area. Um, Unfortunately about this one, and I hate to do this, but a lot of times when you see this where it's not really giving us a true definable level of risk, we could potentially, again, it did pop down and form a base lower, so we could potentially take this down here and use this level as the new one, wait for it to get some clearance. It's still got plenty of room to run all the way down to the 103.38. But right now with the news coming in, I feel like if this one's going to move, it's going to happen quick. Um, so, I feel like it could move quick. Um, hmm. Yeah, I wish there was more in there. Again, that's a decent pullback. The 430 mark. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna move this down. I just feel like if it's gonna move, it's like I said, if we don't hit this before 10:30, I feel like this one could go real fast, right? So, I don't know. Drop it down to 108.93. You could be in a short right now, but it's really just basing sideways. There's just no movement in this one. Again, still like the second profit target of 108.33. This one moves down again, large area to kind of change things. But there's our near term base, right? There's our near term base. But we're really starting to chop it all up. So, not the ideal scenario. Euro pound. All right. So, euro pound. So, looks like euro pound, 2 o'clock this morning. We had marked off this level down low, talked about a small confirmation. It ended up using it really, really quickly at 2 o'clock. And again, we knew that that was the news base right here, the CPI number. And it did. It literally shot down, grabbed at 2 o'clock, and then took off to the upside with that weakness. Came back up, and we had blocked off this area, the 7 to 8 6. We weren't really interested in taking it as a short. It pushed it pretty deep, but we knew we'd have some selling in there. And it looks like the selling came in just a little bit above, sitting in right at that level. So, you know, right now, if you marked off the entire green, you've kind of already gotten into the trade. How much is this? Probably not much. Yeah, it's about 10. Because of the way that this took off, we're kind of at that like failure to go lower time. I think there's probably a decent trade setup in here. Remember, this is the euro pound, so it really doesn't have exposure necessarily to the US. Um, but again, all this does would bring pound strength back in. Now, the reason why I say pound strength, we had that news, and the reaction was, holy crap, it's pound up. And then it was a very, very pound weakness based trade. Everybody that tried to get long pound got stopped out now. We should see it revert and kind of push back down. So I think that we will probably have some kind of stabilization on this one. It only needs to come back down to this 85.50 for this. And this is small. It's a 10 for 30. So kind of like this one. Obviously, it didn't make it all the way up. If it did break this and come up top, then again, 86.10 is where I'd be looking for this one to go. You can see there's quite a bit of pound data coming over here with obviously the interest rate change. And again, the interest rate change, I'm looking for a negative on that one. If we rally all the way up here, then obviously it could be positive. But I'd like it to kind of set up, and ideally, what I'd like this to see is I'd like us to push back down again and be at a level for here to go long. Okay, that's where I'd kind of like to take this one because I do feel that again everybody that sees the interest rate rise is gonna add on to their like long position just to get stopped out. So I think it could be an easy kind of an easy news based trade. Okay, euro yen. Okay, euro yen popping up again. So euro yen, you're also seeing the kind of the pop in this one. Again, I think this one's about to be taken over. Uh, if you look at this across from yesterday, this was that 10:30 mark. We talked about it, but we were like, hey, listen, it's got to go through and break. I love the fact that again, it hit it, it based in there, it hit it, and then kind of took off again, slowly working its way back up top. I think that's great. The next time we come through here, I think it's another short. As far as taking a short from 155, again, 1, 2, 3, we said there's potential there, but I'd be very cautious with it again. And you can see it hit it and push back down again, and now it's hitting it again. So I don't think this one holds. Um, I think the sun is set on this level. Not that it can't, not that it couldn't be an area where we see shorting. It's just using it as a level of risk. I think is a lot more dangerous than it needs to be. Okay. Um, yeah, I just feel that there's not a lot left in this one. I think it probably goes higher. I don't know if we can see the higher. No, we're so high up here. We need to form a new top. Again, it was a great first top. It's provided 3 opportunities. We need another top to form, and then it gives us a decent level. We have the others this week, oh, it's all the manufacturing stuff. Um, retail sales. Hmm. Eh, yeah, I'd look for a new top. I said look for a new top on this one. As I said, this is we've hit it too many times. I mean, there's your easy four, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Even if you use your confirmation, so it should break. And again, it's been so long. I'd like to get a new top on this one. Um, hi Lewis. Dollar eases against euro after Fed pound remarks. Um, yeah, I'd like to see this one go a little bit farther. Let's look for a new top on that. Pound dollar. All right. So unfortunately, we said this yesterday. Hey, listen, we love that basing in there, but then it dropped all the way down. 10 o'clock, it ended up smashing our first target, came back up, found some basing. It did come back up and grab a second level up top. Kind of the last time the European Open on Tuesday. And again, remember, this acts as kind of like the week open for the US. Because again, we had the holiday on Monday. He came up and grabbed it, and again at that 2 o'clock time frame. And what did we see? Massive amounts of weakness. So literally spiked up his zone for news and drove all the way back down, and ended up tagging our second profit target. Actually, I missed it. That's not true. I missed it by 2 pips. Okay. Um, sorry, 3 pips. 3 pips. Yeah. Um, yeah. 111 pip or 112 pips, and I missed it by 3. The very bottom. But we knew we'd have buy and stepping in that range. There's the wick over the wick there. So right now, I think we continue to see this go lower. If we're able to see any strength come back, again, there's so much news scattered on this pair in the next 24 hours. There's probably some opportunity in here. But again, a lot of this, it's like, let's get through the pal time, let's get through the reaction, and then kind of start setting it up for what's next. We're kind of in the middle of the range. When I say middle of the range, kind of this is the last level of basing here, last level of basing up top. We're sitting kind of right in the middle. We can take the alert off, right? Because again, the alert got broken, and then it never pulled back. It went all the way past the profit target. Yes, I could look at that. Starting up in there, maybe. Yeah, for right now, with 5 minutes to go, right? With 5 minutes to go, let's get this data out, right? Again, the prearranged marks, we know it's the questions that I'm interested for. So yeah, chop it back and forth, nothing close. Love the zone over here for buys. Hmm. Could I be swayed though? I don't know. It's a tough one. That is a tough one, right? Obviously, some buying here. Nice explosion off. Area of basing. A little bit of confirmation in here. It has been here before, right? Again, you can see it over here. But it is backstopped by the 61.8. So could be an interesting reversal. Maybe for this news. How large is it? It's probably pretty big. It's not bad. 17. I think we watch out for that zone. I think there could be potentially something in there. Could be bad. Could be. I'm starting to like that one even more. Thursday, 8:30. We can get down there for any of the news. I think it's a decent news trade. 70. So less than a daily ATR. I don't know. Maybe Powell says something really explosive or really weak, right? But there's a lot. All this over here, there's a lot going on. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. What am I looking here for pound yen? All right, so pound yen, we talked about a little bit of a Harry Potter opportunity. You can see it kind of chopped. It never gave us an entry, but then it came down and based in there again. So I think on this one now, we just readjust the base a little bit. Um, we know, let's see, let's keep it in there. Yeah, it's kind of a big, it's a big level. It's like 30 pips, but we now have mirror bottoms, which is even nicer. Let's take this up. Oh, it was a 23. Yeah, got a little bit of help. 10 o'clock yesterday. Same reversal. We talked about being a reversal level yesterday. 1, 2, 3. Ugh. Close. There's a little hiccup right here. But can we smash into that? You know, this could be one that if we get down and get a little bit of a base, we can get in a pullback. Got some room to run on it. Obviously, 80 pips away. But again, having this mirror bottom means that everybody that's established here was eaten up over here. So we should have kind of clearance all the way through on the next one. Um, eh, eh, hmm. Eh, eh, eh. Yeah, I like it. I've decided. I like that one. We're gonna put an alert on that one. Kind of torn. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna throw that in there. Yeah, just like it. I don't know. We'll see if we get the pullback to it. I'm going to see the entry. Look how it goes. If I can shrink I don't want to do the 29 risk. If I can shrink the 29 risk down, I like that. I like that one. Dollar CAD. All right, so dollar CAD went straight up and came straight back down again. We really didn't get our entry on that one, which is totally fine. Again, that happens. Again, we're always looking to have it come in, a clean, right? Straight up, straight back down again is not really what we're looking for. We want to go up a base and then a pullback to show a continuation, not a new spike up and a new spike down. So with it going about halfway, there's no clear area here. So let's just remove this one. Again, sometimes that happens. Not the end of the world, but again, we're waiting for specific rules to be met. You can see this area is still pretty popular. Like all I did was extend it, and it literally, boxes off this side. But as far as clearance goes, there's still plenty to go on top. So we'll just kind of see if we can get basing in that level. Right now, we're kind of stuck between two small areas, and 132 is right here. So um, this is a larger time frame level that we've marked off. Again, you're not seeing a huge spike, even though that CAD data was pretty nice. There's not a huge spike. There's not a huge response from it. So um, everybody's really looking for kind of what the PAL drop is. So it's kind of like, where do you go? Um, I think the way that this was responded with a base here and then a pop higher and a pop higher, I think it probably comes down and bounces off of it again. It is a larger time frame. Um, is it the ideal place to go long? No. um, all right. Yeah, I think it's a decent spot. I don't really necessarily have a long off of it right now. I think we wait for a little bit. I kind of want to spike on this one. There's the potential up here to use this, but right now, again, not really any big reaction. I kind of want to see how the market starts reacting to PAL. So, dollar Swiss. All right, so dollar Swiss. I kind of like where we're at with this one. Again, we're kind of basing sideways, showing me that there's not really a lot of movement one way or the other. There was a small top in here, and there was a push back down again. We talked about it rallying all the way back up again, and you can see yesterday at 10:30 was kind of the peak, and it pulled back and reset and grabbed some buyers and pushed again and fought these guys, and they came down and fought them again and went higher, and it actually punched through almost all the way to the top. I still think 9013 is a decent level. If we can get any type of a pop up from something Pal says that kind of surprises everybody, um, I think that's where the turn and the push back down can come from. So same setup as yesterday. Nothing's really changed. We've just based sideways. I think we look for this to turn and roll back to the downside. All right. What do we got here? So yesterday, obviously, we were out yesterday morning. We can pull that off. 1, 2, 3. We should be out of this one, right? Let's take this guy off. We know that that one's out. We're officially through this level. We're going to hold that for right now. Actually, you know what? I'll delete it because I don't need all the back data. Let's just go to here. So yeah, same as yesterday. A break of 142.47 to the top side. Look for a push through, a base, a pullback, and then a push forward up to 143. Let's go to 143.10. Okay. Whoops, not 10:02. There you go. Um. So yeah, same trade as yesterday. Nothing else to talk about. Look at Bitcoin back up to 29,000. Look at that. This probably it's a big spike, right? Yeah. This is on the news that somebody was saying that BRICS may try to use Bitcoin as the currency until they can establish one. If BRICS tries to use Bitcoin, that'll be the way that Bitcoin actually gets banned in the United States. I'm just telling you right now. Because they're like, oh, we want to get around sanctions. We're just going to create a new conglomerate and we're going to use Bitcoin so we can bypass that one. And that sounds like a great option. Um, that would be the easiest way for crypto to get banned in the United States, is for them to do that. So I don't know that that was the article I saw, but anyway, yesterday morning we had a big push down and a push back up in oil. We talked about breaking 70. I'm good with that. I like how it pushed down. I loved how it based on the other side. I think this trade is still valid. We can just move it to the opposite side, right? We can just oh crap, not that one. Nope, this one, right? Um, Again, just slide everything over. There was no entry on this one. Again, remember, Harry Potter is a drop, a base, a pullback, not a straight down, straight back up again. And that's what we got. Where we are right now, again, higher, 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 but a little bit of a confirmation here with a strong push down. I would say that we're probably in an area of selling right now. We just kind of went off of it. If you want to get it from like where the confirmation candles start, it's right there, which is a kind of a small push. We did have a nice little push up at 9:30. So again, where we are with this, kind of like it. I kind of like where we are high here. Um, let's see. Oh, we won't have inventory will be tomorrow, right? Yeah, inventory will be tomorrow at 11, right? Yeah, tomorrow at 11. Um, so yeah, oil probably again due to push back down again. Obviously, nothing today. We'll hear if Powell makes a statement about the economy's in trouble, demand, risk, whatever, contagions. We'll hear something about that. Yeah, yeah, we'll see. Not horrible. Yeah, short. Natural gas, kind of got it. Again, nice little base up top. We had a nice little push. Again, we're looking for that Harry Potter trade. There's a little bit of basing here. Not again. If we move it down to where the basing is, we have not had an entry. It was straight down, straight up again. If anything, I would say, and again, we only threw kind of the option there. I think this is kind of more. It's gonna make me do that. That's kind of more what I'm looking for base wise. Um, um, that's kind of more what I'm looking for right now. And the reason why is, again, kind of a base, push down, kind of close proximity, right? Kind of came up again, one push down and then straight up. So maybe you got short on that one. Maybe you got stopped out. If you did, it was a very small trade. It would have been a very tiny base, not this big one. But with an extra area sitting right there with a pull up, I think again, I think this is where we pull the trigger up here. 254. Right, I think 254 is where it goes, and that probably is a fib level too. It was close. It was backstopped. Look at that at 23. That was a nice little 23. Nice little 23 in there. Yeah, yeah, 254. I'm fine with that. All right, gold. All right, so gold getting a little choppy. Yesterday, again, all this time, all this time, all this time, all this time, right? We were sitting on Tuesday at 10:30. We were right here. Okay, so we talked about that being a kind of a level of basing, and it did. It rolled away, it rolled away, it rolled away, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. So we talked about 937. So it ended up pushing through, and you can see smash, smash, smash all the way through, and now pushing back up again. Um, I think right now this one is cleared all the way down to what 1919. I think that's where we're heading. We'll get some more comments. I think people are still going to be looking at this one. Um, yeah, that's funny. We were at 1920 when we started. Um, I think it probably rolls back down there today. I think people are really going to get in their head that yeah, these things can go lower. So yeah, yeah, nothing. I mean, that was the short we talked about yesterday. So let's run fibs down and see where we're getting some help from, or potentially. Here right now. So it looks like 19, 1850. Looks like there's our next Harry Potter trade. So yeah, it looks like we come back down, and I think we're going to run into some problems here around this 1918 mark, kind of where we hit it today, $1 lower than that. It's not a great trade entry over here in this area, right? Not a great trade entry here. You can see 1912 has been tested a couple times, bing, 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 bing. But if we can chop through this, there's a racetrack trade sitting right here. So again, this could be a longer term position, but a 1907 break down to 1891. Um, there'll be some panic selling down there. And again, obviously, we're gonna need some help from Powell. We need to raise interest rates again. If we're already seeing this come down, and the Fed says we got a long way to go, still, we're still gonna keep the, gonna put our foot back down again. That could be a nice kind of push, right? That could be a nice push. Let's see, I'm waiting for some headlines. We don't have any of the big ones yet. How long? It's testimony, so he's probably just reading the speech right now, right? There's the market fall. Yeah, I'd like this to come down. We know we got a little Harry Potter action sitting right here. Okay, so unfortunately, there's that area right here. Not enough for Harry Potter to the downside. Eh. All right, Mr. Silver. So yesterday, Silver, look, slow, 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 grind, 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 grind. It's like, oh, it's basing, it's basing, it's basing, and it didn't. It didn't pop. We were looking for a retracement. We were actually trying to get up here because we wanted the short pals thing today, but they didn't even line it up. They were just like, nope, nope, right? Came down and just grind, 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 and then just slam right through it. So can't say that it was the wrong move. Like we were waiting for a pullback to take it short. It just went short. So let's pull some of these levels off. That profit target's hit. That profit target hit. Off, off, off. So yeah, let's run some fibs on this right now. It's an easy high to low right now. And nothing lines up right now, so I'd say we probably got some more room. Crap, can we get all the way down? We could actually. Um, at the 23 now, sitting right at the 23. 23.6 is at $23. Hmm. Probably not a bad sell. Just due to the technical nature of that one. This is what, so it actually went just slightly lower than this one. So this one is broken. There's profit target one. 22. Looks like this is our next downside target. Looks like we have room to run. So again, if you're already short, looks like we can go all the way down to 22.30 ish. Um, if you're already not in it, not necessarily the safest place to put it now, but again, there's some room to run on that one. Yeah, a little bit more room to run. Not much more we can do with that one. Apple, yeah, doing what it's doing. Tesla, yeah, it's making sense. All right, let's see. Funny, VIX is it's actually holding okay, right? Hmm. Yeah, actually holding okay. Let's see what the dollar's response is. So far, nothing. Right? So far, nothing. Um, hoping for more response here. Let's see. I mean, look at this: 10, 12, 5, 0. This one's coming back to 16. But even the two yen pairs, not moving yet. So yeah, we haven't had the big thump yet. So we need to thump before this one moves. Again, indices are kind of seeing what's coming. Yeah, not surprise. Zero surprise. This is 9:30. Yeah, 9:30 is right here. Yeah. Fortunately, there's nobody's fooled. Nobody's fooled. This was heading back down again yesterday. Looks like yesterday morning, actually, at that 10:30 mark is where we kind of pegged that one. 10:30 was the absolute bottom at 44.10. We are looking for 44.02. Looks like 44.04. We missed this by 2 points, so it's almost down to our profit target. We probably see some retracement today. Looking at this here, we're past the 23. But I will say there's absolutely some selling kind of coming in here. Actually, it spiked up a little bit more, so maybe not. Finally getting some movement here. I wonder if Powell just dropped a headline. The wick on this one is too big, but there's a wick sitting right there that's kind of like, yeah, it's moving. So there's got to be a headline out. We'll see in a second. Slowly. So yeah, I think overall look for a pullback. I just don't think the market's prepared. I don't think the market is really, um, you know, I don't think the market was really ready for Powell to make the comments that he did. So yeah, look for it to roll. Unfortunately, no opening print today. Opening print was just holding, and again, it was absolutely a short today with that news. So, but no pullback, nothing confirmed. It was just too far already. NQ 9:30 mark. Again, there's a red, green, red in there, and a pullback and another red here. So, kind of the same trade. Looks like the trade would have come in at like 6:30 this morning, 5:30, 6:30 this morning. But unfortunately, no opening print. The 9:15 was green, right? It did load us up with green. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, opening print. YM. What do we got here? YM just smashed our target. That's what it was. Oh, that was the target from yesterday. Yeah, we hit that one. We knew that was there. Actually, yeah, it found the same bottom. There you go. Nice little. It's trying to move. It's getting the same pop right now that ES is getting. Now again, it did hit an area of buyers, which makes sense. But it's getting a nice pop. So obviously, somebody saw something in one of these reports. Um, so market's liking it. Market's liking it. God, I hate to say there's a small zone there, but we're pushing through it right now. Yeah, 9:15 was green. 9:15 was green. So yeah, they're fighting back. Not as bad as they were. I don't think they hold though. I think they close right on the day for sure. Russell again. Man, there's a comment was made. 9:15 again. Everybody's trying to sell this one. 9:30 down. Never gave us a pullback. Actually, this one did have a little trade set up in it though. Right. Right. Level pacing came back up. Did it make it to 1 to 3? I don't know. Yep, it did. Made it to 1 to 3. You can see it here. Right. Drop, base, pull back, boom. You're like, oh, there's a zone in there. Right. 9:15 red, spike up, and then the 10 o'clock reversal. Yeah, there's a small trade in there. So hoping we get some more comments, but nothing yet. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. All right. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're sitting right now. Nothing super exciting. Everything's in the red. NQ looks like it's accelerating back down again from that pullback. Again, ES running into the same thing. Not as clean. Again, on the 5-minute, you can see it. It's easier, right? On the 15, you can see it right there. Same thing. So they're all kind of the same spot. Dollar's still fighting. Dollar's finding. He said something. Like I said, dollar deteriorating. I feel like they're getting some type of a headline, but we do have buyers coming in. So, yeah, we'll see what are gold and silver doing. Yeah, stabilized. Fighting still. But look, gold is stabilized. To confirm, not the cleanest levels, but coming back to levels here. Bounce with stuff. Again, push down, coming back into the areas of buyers. Dangerous short, but and again, looking to the left, buyers, 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 buyers. So a bunch of buyers in. So again, this could be a temporary profit taking coming at 10 o'clock for the morning session. So kind of where we're at. Um, all right. Looks like that's it for today. I guess we talked fast today or something. We're about 9 minutes early. So it's all right. I guess we'll get out a little early today. Mm, yeah, same thing. Same pop. Funding buyers too. So same pop. Yeah. So is what it is. I guess I didn't do one of these. Whoops. And I forgot again. I even got here a little bit early. All right. So I guess we're gonna see who's in chat, who's not in chat. I see a lot of big numbers going in. So I will give you guys 2 minutes. I'll give you guys 2 minutes on this one. So um 2 minutes on those entries in there. See what the Aussie push and what we would get out of this one. A lot of basing sideways. I was hoping we had a little bit more on this one. This is like another one of those like pound Aussie is not as horrible as a lot of people would assume, right? Um, 1.5 spread right now, right? So it's not as bad. It's not as common, right? But you still get some decent movement in there. You can see we're sitting right at a 50% retracement level right now. With a level basing, not the ideal, right? There's a zone sitting there. It's kind of hard to see though. It's kind of in here. I was assuming we had a bit more trending in there, but we do not. Yeah, yeah. Wait, what? See how he tried to mess with the giveaway on a second straight win? What? Me? I just totally forgot. Kip was up at like 5 o'clock this morning and woke me up last night. So yeah, no, it's not. It's not a me thing. I didn't try to do anything. What are you talking about? Don't blame me. Was it me? Girl's like, uh-oh. Yeah, kind of funny. So I said I would take this 30 more seconds and then we will go ahead and 5 seconds more. 3, 2, 1. There we go. All right. Let's see who's got it. Winner of today's drawing is Ernest. Ernest had it. Yeah. Now, Ernest, you won yesterday too, right? I thought you did. Yeah. Yeah. The scorching temperatures over there, right? The scorching, right? There we go. The scorching. So, all right. So tomorrow I'll be better. I'll get that thing started ahead of time. Thank you for joining me today. As I said, look for the PAL reaction today. Overall, it should be a red day in preparation for tomorrow. I do like a lot of the releases we have tomorrow morning. I think they're all good. I like that the Swiss is raising. I like that the pound is raising. I think both of them provide opportunity for weakness because the market's already factored it in. Again, the vote to do this still pretty decent. Unemployment, I don't think it's going to be a big deal, and existing home sales not necessarily a big deal as well. So it'll be Powell comments, and then after Powell speaks later on today, I'm sure we'll have another one or two people that have to drop their version of comments. So we'll see how that goes. So with that, I am out of here. I will catch you guys tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Everybody have a good one. Take care.